So, Doctor, the question that I'm very curious about is where a patient came to you with a lot of complications, and you're doing something which is very divine. Like I said, your hands are magical, and the hands of a surgeon are supposed to be absolutely precise with the way they work. So, one is my question on the magic of the human body. How much does it fascinate you? Because there are many things about the body still, in spite of the robotic surgery levels that we have gone to today with artificial intelligence coming in, still there are elements of the body that we don't know about. And as far as a story or a case with a patient where it was unforgettable for you and you are forever grateful doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I think you made a point at some stage and you said that, you may do the best operation and you come out of the operating theater thinking that this is the best I could have done.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily ensure the best outcome, to be very honest. Most of the time it would, but not always. And that's the enigma of a human body, that how it responds in a particular scenario. The best surgery, the best joining which I could have done, I've done, and still it may lead to complications. And on the other hand, many times I do a procedure and I say, I could have done better. I could have, done a little bit of this more and a little bit of this more, and I'm dissatisfied or not completely happy with how it has gone. And you would be surprised that those patients go home at the earliest without any complications. And that's what makes you humble all the time. That, you may do whatever you can do, but at the end of the day, it's how the body responds to what you have done. And that realization, comes with time.
Mhm.
And in the beginning, I used to have sleepless nights when I would have a complication in a patient. I would run the whole surgery through my mind, that where I could have done anything differently. And I would have sleepless nights till the patient gets better and go home. Then over the years, gray hair come in, you understand how things work, and you say that you have one opportunity to do what you can do the best way possible. And then you hope that the body heals in the manner you would want it to. So that's the mantra of being at peace when you do surgery. Otherwise, you would always be flustered, frustrated, anxious that how the outcome would be.
Mm.
And you mentioned, that anything which tells you that, this is worth what it is, which you're doing. And it's a once in a lifetime case. You do it. You may not have the same outcome every time, but in that patient, it was destined to be like that, and you are eternally grateful. So I had this about 55, 58-year-old advocate from Andhra who had come to me with a tumor in the liver. And it was a large tumor, and it was going into the large veins. So there is a vein called inferior vena cava on which the liver sits. And that vein carries all the blood from the body into the heart. And then the veins from the liver join that big vein so that the blood from the liver can go flow into the heart again. And the tumor was going through the vein into the large vein in the back of the liver and through it into the heart. The tumor was going into the heart. And this kind of situation usually is untreatable, and you often don't give a long sort of life expectancy to these patients. But this patient told us that, I am prepared to do anything. I trust you unconditionally about what you can do or what you would do. But I want you to do something for my disease. I don't want to just die waiting uh, when the end comes to me. So I give you full uh, my consent to do whatever you can. So we took up this. It is something which is not often done. So we got together with the cardiothoracic team, and what we did is we put this patient on a bypass machine. Then we cooled his body down to 16 degrees centigrade, and we completely stopped his heart. So this patient was literally dead. We call this complete circulatory arrest. And for that 20-25 minutes, the cardiac surgeon worked on the heart, and we removed the tumor which was extending into the heart. And then once that is done, we brought back the patient with the circulatory flow and get the patient back with all his heart pumping and all. But the job is not complete because the liver tumor still has to be removed. And when we put the patient on bypass, we have to give blood thinners so that the blood doesn't clot. And to operate the liver tumor with blood thinners is inviting God's wrath because it'll continue to bleed, bleed, bleed. Of course, we have methods to overturn that. So we did that. We used some special equipment to minimize the blood loss, and I removed the half of the liver with the tumor, with the extension into the large vein. And finally, we were able to remove this. This patient made a remarkable recovery, Rashmi. We were thinking that he may have some uh, mental disturbances because of the being in complete circulatory arrest and all that. But he woke up immediately. He was coherent, completely all limbs moving, and he was doing well. The best part was he did well, he recovered, he went home, but he is alive 10 years plus with that tumor, no evidence of any disease. And it's nothing short of a miracle, I think, because the type of tumor that it has, you don't give life expectancy more than 3 months to those patients. And this patient is alive with no disease after more than 10 years. I don't think I can, you know, be thankful enough to be doing this job and having this kind of an experience because this tells me that my life is worth at the end of the day something, you know. And I've even this one patient, if I've done this, it's probably the purpose of my life. So that's a remarkable experience which I have had. We've published this, and it's one of the few cases in world literature which have been treated and who's alive for so long.
Wow.
So that's what it is, you know.
Yeah.